The general asked for a volunteer, and the room froze. No one dared to move until a quiet clerk stood up. She wasn't a fighter, she wasn't a soldier, but what happened next shocked the entire base, and even crushed the drill sergeant's pride. The hall smelled of polish and steel. Boots struck the floor in a rhythm too sharp to ignore. The general had called everyone in, and no one knew why. Rows of soldiers stood shoulder to shoulder, uniforms pressed, faces set in hard lines. Their breath barely moved. Every order from the general carried weight. No one wanted to be the first to guess. Eliana Hazel Watson sat in the back row. She wasn't supposed to be here, not really. Her work was clerical files, numbers, schedules. A quiet life inside a quiet office. She rarely left the shadow of her desk. That suited her fine. Her hands rested in her lap, pale against the dark fabric of her uniform. A broken watch dangled on her wrist, its cracked glass catching the light. It hadn't ticked in years, but she never took it off. To her, it was a reminder of lost time, choices she hadn't made. The general's voice cut through the silence. Strength, he said. It is not measured by weapons. It is measured by courage. His eyes scanned the room, settling on no one for long. Today, I ask for a volunteer. The word landed heavy. A ripple of unease spread through the ranks. Volunteers never meant good news. Eliana felt her breath quicken. She gripped her empty wallet hidden in her pocket. She had carried it since the day she left home. A hollow shell that reminded her of what she had given up. The general's tone deepened. One of you will face Sergeant Cole. A test of strength, discipline, and spirit. The name froze the room. Sergeant Cole, the drill master, the Iron Storm. His training had broken men twice the size of anyone here. Facing him was no honor. It was punishment, dressed as spectacle. Silence thickened. No soldier moved. No one dared meet the general's eye. And then, to her own surprise, Eliana rose. The sound of her chair scraping across the floor echoed like thunder. Heads turned. Whispers cracked the silence. Her legs felt like stone, but she stood anyway. Her lips moved before her mind caught up. "I will, sir." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Some laughed under their breath. Others stared. The quiet clerk. The paper girl. Sergeant Cole smiled from the shadows, not the smile of a teacher. The smile of a predator. The general studied her face, unreadable. "Very well. You have your volunteer." The room shifted. The soldiers' disbelief turned into restless murmurs. Eliana's watch pressed heavy against her wrist, unmoving, unbroken. Her fate was sealed. The circle formed quickly. Boots shuffled against polished floorboards. Soldiers leaned forward, eager, nervous. Cole cracked his knuckles, the sound sharp as breaking bones. His reputation filled the room long before his fists did. He had broken men down with words alone. He had left recruits gasping in mud until they wept. Now he faced a clerk. "Push-ups," he barked, "until you drop." He dropped to the floor with the grace of a predator. His arms were cords of muscle, each repetition pounding like thunder. Eliana lowered herself beside him. No sharp moves, no violence, just calm. Her arms bent, her body moved, her breath stayed steady. 1, 2, 3, the soldiers counted. At 20, some smirked. At 40, their smirks faded. At 60, whispers grew. She hadn't slowed. Cole grunted, sweat dripping down his temples. His movements were explosive, each push a challenge to the earth itself. But his pace was fire-fast, bright, consuming. Eliana's pace was water, smooth, steady, endless. By 70, gasps replaced whispers. By 80, soldiers shouted her name. By 90, Cole faltered. His chest hit the floor with a thud. Eliana pressed out one more. 91, she rose, breath steady, face calm. Her broken watch glinted in the light, as if it had found its heartbeat again. The room exploded. Cheers, disbelief, laughter mixed in chaos. Cole pushed himself upright, face red, fury sharp. That was warm-up, he growled. He jabbed a finger toward the door. Obstacle course. Now. The obstacle course loomed like a battlefield. Walls, ropes, mud pits, bars, slick with dew. At the far end, the towering 15-foot wall. Cole's domain. He ripped off his jacket, muscles carved in scars. His eyes locked on Ellie. Try to keep up, Clerk. The whistle blew. Cole exploded forward, vaulting the first wall in one violent leap. Cheers followed him. He dived into the trench, pulling himself through the mud like a machine. Eliana ran slower, but her rhythm never broke. She scaled the wall with careful steps, slid through the trench with flowing movements. No wasted energy. Cole tore across monkey bars, slipping but recovering. Eliana swung like a pendulum, her momentum carrying her smoothly forward. Soldiers roared, some for him, some for her. In the mud pit, Cole fought. Each step sent sludge flying, his body dragging through. Eliana moved differently. She didn't fight the mud. She moved with it. She lifted her legs high, found her balance, and passed through with only a few paces behind him. The final wall rose before them, towering, unforgiving. Cole sprinted, slammed into it, clawed his way up with raw force. He heaved himself over and landed with a roar. The crowd roared back. Victory. His wall, his pride. But Eliana didn't stop. She sprinted, planted one foot, then another higher. She ran up the wall itself. Her hand caught the top beam. She pulled, swung, vaulted clean. For a moment, silence gripped the yard. Then cheers erupted louder than before. Cole's jaw tightened. His pride cracked. His glare was fire, his fists trembling. Hand to hand, he said, voice like stone. Now. Cole lunged first. His fists swung like hammers, fueled by rage and years of dominance. Eliana moved differently. She didn't block hard. She shifted, redirected. His fist sliced through air. His kick met nothing but space. Gasps filled the circle. Cole struck again, faster, meaner. Eliana stepped aside, her calm breaking his rhythm. She touched his chest lightly, pushed just enough, and sent him stumbling a step back. The crowd murmured, stunned. They had never seen him stumble. Cole's fury deepened. He came again, hook sharp, breath heavy. Eliana bent, sidestepped, her hand guiding his force past her. His strength met emptiness. It wasn't strength against strength. It was storm against stone. His power scattered. Her calm endured. Sweat and mud coated them both. The fight became a rhythm. His rage clashed with her control. Every failed strike tore at his pride. Every quiet redirection grew her legend. Then it came, his uppercut. The one that had ended countless fights. Eliana shifted. She caught his momentum, pivoted, guided him to the ground. The yard shook with his fall. Mud splashed. Silence clung. She didn't raise her fists. She didn't gloat. She extended her hand. Cole stared up at her, chest heaving, face streaked with mud and shame, and slowly, with trembling pride, he took it. The bass changed overnight. Whispers turned into stories. Laughter turned into respect. Soldiers who had mocked her now asked questions. Eliana sat at her desk, the broken watch ticking in her imagination, though its hands never moved. She brushed her fingers over her empty wallet. She had spent everything, time, money, reputation, to be here. And now the weight of eyes pressed heavy. A knock at the door. A young recruit, nervous. How did you do it? How did you beat him? Eliana adjusted her glasses. I didn't beat him. I stayed focused. The recruit nodded slowly, as if the words carried more than they seemed. Others came too, asking, watching, learning. Cole still trained hard, still barked orders, but his eyes followed her now with something new. Not fury, not scorn, respect. But the general was not done. He called for another assembly. His voice thundered. Strength is proven in battles of the body, but discipline true. Discipline is proven in battles of the mind. His gaze locked on Ellie. Tomorrow, you face one more challenge. The soldiers shifted, whispering again. Some feared for her. Some hungered for spectacle. Eliana's hand tightened around her broken watch. She had survived Cole's fists, but the general's test, that was unknown ground. Dawn came cold. The dusty road stretched before her, leading to the training yard once more. Soldiers lined the path, whispers thick, breaths held. Cole stood among them, arms crossed, expression unreadable. His presence felt different now, no longer a predator waiting for prey, but a rival watching closely. The general waited at the far end. On the ground before him lay 3 objects: a rifle, a heavy pack, a ledger. Strength, endurance, mind, he said. Choose and prove yourself. Eliana's eyes lingered on the ledger. Paper, ink, numbers, her world. She bent, lifted it, and held it close. Murmurs rose. A clerk choosing the clerk's tool. The general nodded once. Then prove this. Lead them. Confusion rippled. Lead who? The general motioned, and a group of recruits stepped forward. Young, nervous, their eyes wide. Eliana understood. This wasn't about fists. It was about more. She straightened, broken watch pressing against her wrist. Empty wallet in her pocket. Dust rising around her boots. She opened the ledger. She spoke softly, calmly, giving orders with precision. Not loud, not harsh, but steady. The recruits followed. They moved smoother than before. They learned quickly, not from fear, but from trust. Hours passed. The sun bled across the sky. By evening, the recruits stood taller. Their faces carried confidence they hadn't known before. The general watched in silence. Finally, he spoke. Strength is not dominance. It is influence. Today, you've proven more than courage. You've proven leadership. The yard erupted again. Cheers, disbelief, pride. Cole stepped forward, mud still etched into his skin. He looked at Eliana long, then saluted.